Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and thank you very much for attending this meeting. Salamu alaikum. I am very impressed for all my colleagues. I truly admire your task. Linguamón House of Languages is the Catalan language permanent contribution to the universal values of languages endorsed by the United Nations. United Nations proclaimed 2008 as the International Year of Languages as a symptom of the increasing importance of languages around the world. Here you can see the model of our future headquarters on the occasion of Linguamon's presentation at the MoMA in New York in 2008. The works have already begun. The museum, the center, will be inaugurated in 2013. In the meantime, you will find us in this state-of-the-art building called Media ICT, right at the heart of Barcelona's technological district. Languages are values. Languages are business. This is Linguamón, raison d'être. Languages are emerging on the planet. They are the most notable pillar of its diversity and key of cultural and economic development of countries. Let me explain you what Linguamón House of Languages is about. Linguamón is a museum, but not only. It is also a lab and a cluster. While the museum is related to dissemination of universal values of languages, the lab and the cluster are about digital technology, economy, and multilingualism. Let's see in more detail this. I want to explain to you who, what, and where we are. Linguamón House of Languages is a public consortium composed by the Government of Catalonia and Barcelona City Council. With a total investment budget of 30 million euros, the consortium also has the annual financial support of the Spanish government. Let's now see where we are. As you have seen, Linguamón is located in Barcelona, capital of Catalonia, a land within the Spanish state with its own language, Catalan, spoken by 9 million people. Linguamón House of Languages is at the heart of Barcelona's new technological district, called the 22A district, a brand new neighborhood of over 4 million square meters. We are talking about 4 million meters, as you can see here in blue, that once were the city's industrial district and now are turning into a urban high-tech district. Take a look at this slide. 12 research and technology transfer centers, 1,500 new business, 45,000 new jobs, and 6 clusters. ICT, energy, design, communication, biotechnology, and now, through House of Languages, multilingualism. Our future headquarters are right in the center of this district I was talking about. It is an old textile factory, 7,000 square meters devoted to languages. This was the first ever textile factory created in Barcelona back in 1850. Spain's industrial revolution began here. This factory was a pool of attraction of knowledge, expertise, innovation, and entrepreneurship. It created wealth and prosperity. The same strength that will now generate through languages. Expertise, innovation, entrepreneurship create wealth and prosperity about through languages. The former textile factory will become the world language factory. As you can see, the new complex will include permanent and temporary exhibitions, auditorium, media library, educational services, etc. The Italian architect Benedetta Tagliabue won the international competition to design the new headquarters. Among her works, I want to highlight the Scottish Parliament in Edinburgh and the Spanish Pavilion at the Universal Expo in Shanghai this year. We are completely sure that she will make a great job transforming the factory. Let's explain in more detail the museum, the lab, and the cluster project. The museum is a contribution to the promotion of values attached to languages through knowledge and entertainment. The lab and the cluster wish to create wealth around languages. Can we create job out the language industry in Barcelona? Can we create new companies about language industry in the financial crisis? We want to answer these questions by creating the lab and the cluster. Here are some renders of the museum, the first center on the world devoted to world linguistic heritage, to linguistic diversity, to all languages, to your own language, Arabic, for example. At Linguamón, we promote three kinds of initiatives to disseminate the values of languages. The first one is the museum and cultural and educational activities. The second one is our website, linguamon.cat, in 16 languages, Arabic too. And finally, we are promoting co-productions for audiovisual contents. I will focus your attention in 6 programs. The first one is on the visual collection. We call it United Voices. United Voices includes features renowned figures from scientific, cultural, and media backgrounds from all over the world, offering their views of languages and multilingualism. As you know, during the seminar, we have also been filming some of you to complete this collection. The second program are cultural activities. For instance, we have recently organized a concert with the World Youth Choir, Artists for Peace, from UNESCO. The third program is about promoting audiovisual productions. We are preparing a documentary featuring Gilberto Gil, Brazil's former Minister of Culture, singer, and especially our goodwill ambassador. The values of multilingualism do need to produce content for the multi-platform media in order to be promoted. So broadcasters are an essential key on this. My colleagues have explained masterfully today. The fourth program is called Living Maps, a new interactive tool to generate maps of the world's linguistic diversity. With Living Maps, every language has its own map, and every map is a window to every language. At this point, I have a good news for you. There are only 2 programs left. The 5th program is the Chair in Multilingualism, created by Linguamón and the Open University of Catalonia, a leading online university in our country. Starting this year, we are offering an online postgraduate course in linguistic and cultural diversity management. The 6th program is our website, linguamon.cat, edited in 16 languages, and our presence at social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Linguamón, languages, mean business. So far I have explained to you which is our contribution to disseminate the values attached to languages. Let me focus now on the importance of languages for business. As I told you before, this is the building where you will find us until 2013. We are promoting the area of languages and business in this building, technology through the lab and business, as I said, through the cluster. So, a lab will have a showroom to feature the state-of-the-art innovations in multilingual information and communication technologies, and a multilingualism cluster with the language industry companies. All the multilingual products that you might have with you, like your mobile phone, your BlackBerry, your laptop, need language industry companies to operate. As you had the chance to see yesterday, the potential of new technologies and new social platforms are tremendous. C3PO was a precursor of all of us. As you know, he said he is fluent in over 6 million forms of communication. We are preparing the strategic plan for the multilingualism cluster in Barcelona. Take a look at this. A cluster is only composed by private companies. First, we studied the languages of the markets in the global economy and the management of multilingualism used by small and medium-sized companies in Catalonia. The question is, are Catalan companies multilingual enough in a globalized economy? Here you can see Catalan businesses markets at the languages used there. As you can see, in a global economy, markets are languages. These figures highlight the importance of integrating languages into economic strategies. Let me give you an example. A manager company said, "We would communicate in English with many markets, but for us, languages are crucial. It's important to make the customer feel comfortable in his own language. That's why languages are markets." The strategic plan for the cluster is studying the global market for language industry. The explosion of digital contents in Internet and the globalized economy multiply the need for multilingual products, for multilingual solutions. This is the reason to promote a multilingualism cluster in Catalonia. You are, a lot of you are students. You decided to study languages at the university. You have made an excellent choice. Investing in languages is a very good decision. It's a very good business. You will succeed in this multilingual world. Here we can see some figures that really show the enormous evolution of the language industry in terms of business. In terms of business, it's an industry with bright prospects. More than 10,000 billion euros only in Europe. As you can see, the translation and localization industry is expected to achieve annual growth of 10% when the economic crisis finishes. The market of speech industries has experienced a strong growth in the last years and has very good prospects due to potential synergies with other technology sectors. As you can see, we are experiencing a digital convergence between the explosion in digital content and the globalization of business services. The digital revolution is a multilingual revolution and needs multilingual technological solutions for all languages. Arabic too, African languages too. We need language industries. That's why technology is essential for linguistic diversity. We believe in it. Linguamón House of Languages will be associated to language industry at the service of all languages of linguistic diversity. Changes in the world order and a new multipolar world also implies deep changes in the linguistic scenario. It is a great opportunity for all languages. I am convinced it is a great opportunity for all of us because we are languages. We love languages. As I just heard yesterday, I love diversity in everything. We are meeting here today because we all wish a more diverse world, a respectful, tolerant world. And as you say in Arabic, Yadum Bahida La Tusafak. We can clap with just one hand. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Shukran jazilan.